Good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Squat Club, the place where busy parents build the lives they know they're meant for before their kids wake up. Now, high intensity training I still believe is the most effective, efficient way to get really fit. But as a 40-year-old, if I just keep hammering hard, my body breaks down. So if you don't take care of your body and get some active recovery in, then it's gonna not do what you want for it. This morning, we've got 20 minutes slowing down the intensity, upping the intention, and making sure that we're ready for another hard week of training by taking care of our body. But this isn't just a workout. You are here in the 5 a.m. Squat Club. This is a full morning routine for rebuilding our lives, building the lives we know we meant for. We're going to prime our minds, move with a little bit of intensity this morning, bring it down a little bit, and then like every day, take action on our goals. Because if you're not moving, you're going backwards. All right, so first step, we are going to choose our first thoughts. We call it priming the mind. Let's go. All right, so first step here every morning is to get into a squat and to fight off the dog. What you're looking for is feet underneath the hips, heels are planted on the floor, and if you feel like you're gonna fall over backwards or the heels are coming off, you can grab onto a counterbalance in the form of a weight or a dog. If you're new here, I'm Adam. I've been coaching fitness for 25 years. We are soon to have our third child. We became farmers 5 years ago, and I fell off track. This program of being consistent every single morning, priming our minds and moving forward, has improved my life and got me right back on track. So first step, while we're here, we're gonna go through our mental reps. We're gonna do a little breathing exercise. If you're watching the right side of the screen, 4-second inhale, 4-second pause, 4-second exhale, 4-second pause. It's gonna steady the breath, calm our nerves, and get us ready for the day. So first one while we're breathing is I am responsible. And that means I'm taking accountability. Nobody is going to achieve your goals for you. Get on it. It's on you. Next is I will make time between stimulus and response. And feel free to say these to yourself because the more you say them, the more you believe them. Taking time between stimulus and response is just patience. It's not freaking out when the stimulus comes. It's taking a breath, taking a minute, giving a better response. Next is I have all I need to succeed today and will focus on progress over perfection. This is just reframing away from I don't have the resources to I can be resourceful. Take what you have, make progress. And last is I choose gratitude. I want to improve my life. I've got big goals. I want to keep moving forward. But at the same time, if I only look at the things that aren't where I want to be, I'm not going to be happy. So if I can see there are positives in our lives, there are good things already, find balance. All right, let's move. Okie dokie. Good morning, team. Good morning, team. So, whether it is active recovery day or high intensity day, we start with the same thing because we've gotten up out of bed and now we gotta get up off the floor. So what you're gonna do is lay down fully, get back up, and then we like to take a little hop and clap overhead to celebrate. And we're gonna move here for 2 minutes, just turning on the body physically. It doesn't need to be fast. You don't need to hop back. You can step back. You can crawl down there. We're just looking to increase the heart rate a little bit, increase the body temperature, just a little bit. As I'm saying for today, it's not as important to go crazy in the warm-up because we're not going crazy in the workout. In essence, we're doing a nice long warm-up that is going to, increase our mobility, decrease our stiffness, and ideally kind of improve our ability to get into good positions throughout exercise. So we've got 20 minutes, 5 different, call them exercises or holds today. That are gonna heal your body. And if you're new here, it's more than just a workout, right? We're not just doing our active recovery session. Every morning, we show up here and we do high intensity exercise, except for Sundays. And then we take action. And that's the most important part, is that most people have no system for making sure that their goals are achieved. Whereas if you carve out time every single day, then it's doable. Then in essence, it happens on its own without you having to strive for any motivation or anything else. It's just a habit stack. So if you've got goals, but you're not necessarily on track for them, join us every morning. We do it together. All right, burpees complete. We're gonna brief this workout real quick and then we'll get it started. So I'm gonna suggest a mat, maybe if you got one. Morning, Chris. Morning, equipment. Tim, Steve, Terry, good morning. Good morning. Not too many messages, Terry. Just keep it to communication here. All right, so you can see there are 5 different movements, common active recovery movements for us because they are some of the best ones. So first one is just our Paleo Squat. Feet underneath the hips, just like we would do in our mental reps. Feet underneath the hips, sit it down passively. Passive meaning nice and relaxed. If you find this challenging, hold on to a counterbalance. You can also work to pull the chest upright and improve that position as well. Movement number 2 is a prone press. So this is for the upper back and shoulder mobility. We're gonna get down on our front, thumbs to the shoulders, and then press them out overhead, keeping them up off the ground as much as you can the whole time. Number 3 is our tabletop or crab rock. You're gonna get on all 4s here, facing upwards. And the tabletop is just squeezing the butt, coming to a straight line, opening up the hips. And you can rock up and down or just hang out there. Number 4 is our dead hang. So pull-up bar or tree branch or play structure or joist in the basement, whatever. You can do this however you want. You can go, woo. You can go palms forward, palms back like a chin up. You can go mixed grip. You can hold it for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever is realistic. We're going 4 rounds through this. And then your last one is the Cossack Squat. And this is the one that probably needs more warm up, so we'll probably just ease in over those 4 rounds. Nice wide stance. The goal is to come to a squat fully on that one side, hip below the knee, heel on the ground, and then alternate. But most important really is keeping that foot flat, knee in line with the foot as opposed to inside. The other foot is less important about that. So 20 minutes, meaning 4 rounds of those 5 movements each. Set that. No, I did it wrong. 0, 1, 0, 0. We're close. Set 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay. Okay. Wow. To the hook. Terry, real messages. Oof, my left knee won't let me do that squat. Oh, good point. So if the Cossack Squat is real unpleasant, what I would do is grab something that you can hold on to. I'm grabbing the ring there. Maybe something out in front, or something that is attached out in front of you that you can lean back on. And I would just limit that range of motion. So just come down a little bit, and then just work your way if you want to into it a little bit lower. But supported is going to be probably your best bet, right? If you could hold on to, say, a door frame and just use it as a little bit of assistance, that's a better option, right? If I could take that ring, grab onto the ring, lean back behind it, that'll keep you, keep some of the weight out of your knees and find a little bit of balance there. All right. If you like to train, but you're getting a little bit older, you need to take care of your body. If you want to do it long term, you can't just keep pounding. This morning, 20 minutes, active recovery. We got 5 movements that are going to heal your body, leave you in better position so you can train hard for the rest of the week. Let's go. All right, team, quick brief on this morning's session, but we'll talk about it more as we are going through. We're going 20 minutes, 5 different movements, 1 minute per movement, 4 rounds. So your 4 movements are, number 1, it's a Paleo Squat. Feet underneath the hips, come on down into a passive squat. If this is tough, grab a counterbalance to hold out in front. Movement number 2, on your chest, thumbs to the shoulders, press out overhead to a lockout and back down. It's gonna help you open up the upper back, build shoulder mobility and strength. Number 3 is a tabletop. So you come into a crab position, bring the hips up to a nice straight line, undoing some of those detriments of sitting all day, opening up the hip flexors a little bit. You can stay there or go up and down. Number 4 is just a dead hang. So if you got a pull-up bar, tree branch, play structure, choose an amount of time that's realistic, 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds. Hang nice and relax the shoulders. You can mix up the grips. You can go palms in, palms out, mixed grip, whatever you want. And then the last one is our Cossack Squat. Get yourself a nice wide stance. You're gonna alternate squatting, keeping that heel on the ground, getting a full range of motion if possible, and then switching sides. If that is too challenging, feel free to hold on to something. Like I could hold on to the door and use that as support, or a band or a ring or whatever. So we are going 4 sets of those 5 movements, 20 minutes total. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Drop any questions in the chat. We're gonna do it here. Proper music. All right, team. Starts with the Paleo Squat. 10 seconds. We'll talk about it a little bit more as we go. Feet underneath the hips. Come on down all the way. 3, 2, 1. All right. So this is your natural sitting, resting posture. We just, especially in North America, we've gotten so far away from this because we sit in chairs all day that for a lot of people, this is a very uncomfortable, challenging position to get into. But it's a natural position. It is fantastic for your hips, knees, and ankles. And the more time you spend in it, the better it gets. I've been doing this for, at least 10 minutes a day for the last 15 years. And I notice when people come into the gym that this is a challenge. And you see that over time, if you do it more and more, it becomes less of a challenge. And you may not feel it, but this is a very important test for your hips. If you can't do this, there's something wrong. So going to our prone presses next. 5, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Your goal here, keep the arms as high off the ground as you can. Coming to a full lockout. And what this is doing is it's opening up the upper back and it's opening up the shoulders to be able to go, ideally, in line with the body and not just out in front. The upper back, for most of us, is pretty rounded forward. Right? The natural curvature in the upper back is called kyphosis, but most of ours are overdone. Right? Because we lean over, we round our upper backs to look at screens and phones and whatever else we're looking down at, and the upper back becomes more and more rounded, and we end up with more and more cranked neck. And this is me too, for sure. But all right, we're going to our tabletop. 3, 2, 1. And you can think about lifting up the hips to the tabletop, coming back down into crab. You can rock forwards to open up the shoulders a little bit into extension. Just moving around here, finding where it's tough. If you sit a lot, this is a good counteract, a movement that counteracts the sitting that we do. We close the hips when we sit, and the hip flexors that get tight there pull on our low backs, and we end up with back pain. So the more we can think about squeezing the butt and then making a nice straight line through the hip, opening the hip flexors, the better off we're going to be. The more resilient we will be against that low back pain from hip flexor tension. So keep squeezing the butt. You can rock back and forth. You can lengthen it and squeeze the butt. It makes it harder. 10 seconds. We're going to our hang. Obviously, this opens up the shoulders as well and shoulder extension. Great stretch. 3, 2, 1. Hang in. So you can aim to hang out here the whole time. You can even have your feet on the ground for the first one. Just starting to open up those shoulders. You want to be nice and relaxed in the shoulder. I'm not trying to pull up or keep any tension there. Just nice and relaxed. You can do a little side to side, opening up the side of the body, the serratus and the abs. I needed this morning. 30 seconds. Some days I don't look forward to active recovery, and some days this is exactly what I want. Today is one of those days. This feels so good. 15. I've got my feet behind me, kind of pushing through, opening up the chest. All right, and then last one of the first set is our Cossack. 3, 2, 1. Nice wide stance, Maple. You are not helpful. And you know what? I'm going to use a counterbalance just because it's a little easier to keep me upright for the first set. The outside heel there stays on the ground, but the toes don't need to. So if you want to bring those toes up on the non-squatting leg, feel free. Keep that heel on the ground and the squatting foot, well, both heels, I guess. 30 seconds. Once again, if this is too much or the knees won't have it, just hold on to something out in front, a band or strap, a towel hung over a door, whatever. Ten seconds, we're going on to round 2, back to our Paleo Squat. Maple. 3, 2, 1. All right, back in the squat, Maple now. If you wanted to make this more challenging, depending on where you're at, although coming into it now after the Cossack squats, my legs are tired, what you could do is come to an active squat and then relax back down. Come to active and relax back down. Just basically push up into the feet a little bit, pull the chest up, and relax back down. I've got some other variations to make this harder as well if you'd like afterwards. But otherwise, just hang out here, let the hips loosen up a little bit, try to breathe into it. Right? The longer, deeper breaths you can take, the more benefit you'll get from this in a flexibility standpoint and from just a calming the nerves and the mind standpoint as well. You are a lot this morning, eh? All right, we're going to our tabletop in 5, or prone presses, I take it back. I am great at getting these in the wrong order. So back on the chest, and you're pressing up overhead, getting the hands as high off the ground as you can at the end. You could even pause there. Take a few seconds with it overhead. You're gonna feel this in the upper back, the scapulas, shoulders. Try to get to a nice straight lock out at the elbow. Right, we want to be able to get weight overhead right in line with the body. So if we can't get the arms up there, we got work to do. 15. 5. Coming to our tabletop. Morning, Carl. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Is that an emoji that I don't know? Stop. Ow. Use her as the Maple. She's so springy this morning. If I tried to hold her, she would just bounce off of me. Probably bite my face. All right, so another minute at opening up the hips here. If I were to guess, I mean, there's probably two. There are two things that I see the most commonly that are limiting for people. One is tight hip flexors that are pulling on their back, and 2 is tight upper back and they can't get overhead. All right, so we're really focusing on those 2 things here today, opening up the hips, right? Allowing for movement, but also stability, and at the same time, opening up that upper back so we can help our posture and our ability to get overhead when we're lifting. All right, back to the hang. Feel free to switch up the grip. I'm gonna go chin up grip here this time. And once again, the goal is nice relaxed shoulders and to have the chest through the arms. All right, you want to create that straight line from the torso straight up the arms, imagining you were holding or having to hold something overhead. You want it stacked. So if I can't get my arms overhead and they're sitting out in front, this is a great way to open, as long as we're squeezing the abs a little bit. So if the upper back and shoulders are really tight and you don't squeeze the abs, you're hanging pretty arched. So keep the abs squeezed to avoid the excess arch. And just relax the shoulders. That's 45 seconds. You can come down before if you need. Coming to our Cossack Squat in 10. Oh my God, you're right back on, aren't you, Doug? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Once again, if you want to scale this one, grab onto a ring or a TRX strap or a towel or a band hung over something, and it'll keep you upright a little bit. You can also limit the range of motion a little bit if you need to. Maple, go away. Holy moly. It's not playtime. I know, you always think it is. Good girl. Keep shifting with control. This isn't, the goal isn't to go fast here. It's to find good positions and fight for them, right? If it feels easy, you're probably not in as good a position as you could be. So fight for it. 10 seconds. I'm going back to the Paleo Squat. 3, 2, 1. So feet back underneath the hips. You should feel a little bit of warmth in the body right now. Should feel like we're warming up and everything's kind of loosening up. Each round should get looser. Morning, Jabes. You're not helpful. You're not helpful. A good test for this is the next time you're out in the wilderness, test out pooping. Test out this position. This is the reason why, our anatomy is the reason why something like the squatty potty exists. If you're familiar with it, it's a little stool that you put beside your toilet and you put your feet up on it to get basically into this position on your toilet. As I'm sure, as I've mentioned before, toilets are a very, Western world thing. You know, out in the East, there's a hole in the ground. All right, we're going back to our prone presses here. Go for it. Chest down, pressing up overhead. But I'll continue on that in the, there are places in the world that there aren't toilets. There are just, go away, holes in the ground. And you just squat down and do your business. And I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but that position is the best position for clearing your bowels and doing a good job and not leaving leftovers and being healthier. So if that position is a struggle, spend more time in it. And then I guess what I'm saying is get your knees up in your squat too, in your poop. Keep pressing. Always trying to get that full lockout overhead. 10 seconds, going to tabletop. All right, back on all fours, facing up. You can mess around with different hand placements here as well. If you want to open up the wrists, you can point them forwards a little bit, pointing them back, pointing outwards. I think the out to the sides is probably the least strenuous. So if you want to get a little more flexibility into it, mess around with different wrist positions. If you want to get more hip flexor opening out of it, squeeze the butt harder, push the hips up high. You can also think about opening up the shoulders. Same thing, you can double up on this one. Kill two birds with one stone. Hips open, shoulders open, 20 seconds. Keep pushing. Going back to the hang. Keep squeezing the butt, 10 seconds. Actually burns pretty good. 5, All right, back to the hang. Go. Coming up on the end of round 3 after our Cossack squats here. And then just one more. Oh, I've got the intervals on there wrong, don't I? That's doing 1 minute on, 1 minute off. What does that give us? 10 rounds. Either way, relax the shoulders, focusing on your breathing, trying to get the chest through the arms. Nice, easy breathing. That's 40 seconds. Coming back to our Cossack squat in 10. Let those shoulders open up here. All right, Cossack in 5. Nope. 3, 2, 1. Nice wide stance. Keeping those heels on the ground. Shifting over to squat on one side. See if you can pull the chest up. And then alternate. You may find that one side is easier or more open than the other. Spend more time on the tight side. That is not uncommon. We are generally pretty uneven. Got one more round after this, team. You should feel like we've got an easy workout in here in terms of body temperature, sweat, all that stuff. You should feel, I like to say, at the end of an active recovery session, like you want to work out. And that's the sign of an effective one. All right, Paleo Squat, 3, 2, 1. So meaning you finish this and you're jacked up to work out, we've been effective. We've done it. I'm going to suggest don't go do a workout, but that's the sign of a good active recovery, is the body feels great and you really want to go push it. Obviously, if you've got physical activities in your life like I do on the farm, then you're going to have to do things. But, you know, you could take an active recovery day afterwards and be physically restful, if that makes sense. Obviously, do your homework, but take a day just as active recovery, and the rest of the week, push that pace. If you're new here, we're here every day with another workout, by the way. Active recovery once a week, and just another high intensity workout every other day. All right, prone presses, 3, 2, 1. "30 seconds. You may find one of these harder than the rest. That just means you need to do more of that one. Like if you can't get your arms off the ground here, you need to do more of this. All right, tabletop, 3, 2, 1. Woo. If you want, you could walk around and crab. Gotta replace my water heater this morning. Woo, that's a fun task. You could walk, you could stay, you can rock, shoulders open. And obviously we can open up the hips, shoulders, hips, shoulders, hips. Find those tight spots or the weak spots and play around there. 30 seconds, open up the shoulders, press away hard from the floor. You can sink. Sorry, even at the shoulders, I can sink and press, sink and press. 15. We're going to hang. Whoa, hard on the toes, 10 seconds. Last hang, team. 2, 1, go. Last hang. Try to focus on calming the breath, relaxing the shoulders, and breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Nice and easy. Think abs on here too. Little butt squeeze, chest through. That's it. Just breathe. Nice and calm. Head up, shoulders relaxed. We are healing our bodies here. Your body will appreciate this work that you're doing. 10 seconds. Last set of Cossack squats. 3, 2, 1. Last set. Too wide. Hi, Maple. 40 seconds. Keep moving. Finish them up. We'll do a little... Well, if you're here on the live stream, we got homework next. 30 seconds. 20. 10. Couple more reps. And there we are. Oh yeah. Great job. You should feel, as I'm saying, kind of like you want to do a workout now. I'd say that's the sign of an active or a successful active recovery day. And remember that if you're only beating yourself up during the week and not taking it down, healing the body, then eventually you're gonna hit the wall, especially as you get older. So hit that thumbs up button, team. Okay. Let's chat. Good job, team. Let me know how it was. All right. Be sure to drop your day in the chat here, team. How many days is this for you on the 5 a.m. Squat Club, whether in a row or not? All right, we're just gonna sit in a seated hamstring stretch here. No, Maple, you are too much today. Here. Nope. Maple, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Get out of here. Never do that, but she's too much. So just a seated hamstring here. You can choose, obviously, any other stretch that you like. Feel free to get into any other stretch, but I mean, we're not beat up from this. You shouldn't need a whole lot of cool down stretching. We'll just reiterate this point that if you want to be consistent, right, and that's kind of our whole game here, is that we show up every single day. Yesterday I was leaking both ends, but we showed up anyways because the habit creation is everything, right? If you become a person whose identity is partially tied to I get up early and I take action on my fitness and my goals, the more times you do it, the less you need to think about it, and as a result, the goals that you're working on in that morning routine, aka our fitness and whatever that homework is next, those goals actually get achieved, right? There are people in this world that have goals that never get there, and then there are people that take action, because the only way to reach your goals is through action, and that is why we do homework. And homework for me is like a trauma-inducing term, because I was not a big fan of school. I was not a big fan of being forced to learn something I wasn't super interested in. So this is the opportunity in your life where homework is yours. Homework is the best thing there is because it's self-assigned and it leads towards the goals that are important to you. Whether it's becoming a content creator, whether it's fixing your finances. Maybe it's moving to a different part of the country. Maybe it's becoming a farmer. Maybe it's writing a book. Whatever it is, the people who achieve their goals take action. And that's why we literally create a system, right? There's a habit stack that when this happens, as a result, afterwards, this happens. And then when this happens, this happens. So we get up early, and then as a result of that, we're able to come in and prime our minds. And the priming our minds helps us with exercise. And the exercise helps clear the mind and body so that the homework is more effective. And as a result of doing that over and over again, you change your life towards whatever it is that you're working towards. And I know that sounds la-di-da and too simple and too easy, but the alternative is not doing the work. So if you think that not doing the work will achieve your goals more than doing the work, then go that route. But what I've learned is that if you're going to get somewhere, it takes action. And I'll give a quick example here, just a little clip from our lives. You know, and I point this out every day that this is not the life we started with. We were at a Canada Day party yesterday, and I was talking to some people, and they're always like, wow, you didn't grow up farming and then you ended up doing this thing. And yeah, because if you have a goal, do it. Take action. It doesn't matter if you are, experienced with that thing or not. Do it, right? We had no experience raising livestock, and now we raise all of our own protein here. And, we're getting better and better all the time because we're learning and we're taking action. You don't need to become a farmer. You just need to have purpose. You just need to have a passion, right? If your life is literally go to work, go home and stare at a screen, like, think about it. Is that what you're here for? Is that your purpose? Is there not more to your existence than that? And I'll give you a quick video of some physical labor as well. We have lots of rocks here. And, sometimes the ideal moving tool is the human, right? I have a bucket for the tractor, but oftentimes it's not on and the bale spear is on there instead. So I don't have another tool to lift that thing up. So get the human strength, right? That is why we train for real capacity. That's why every Saturday we pick up the sandbag, although that rock is heavier than my sandbag. But the point is, the life that you want, we'll get away from this. The life that you want is built through making the choice about where you want that life to be, and then just using your discipline to make it happen, right? Choose the goal, and then this is the goal. All it's going to take is steps, small little steps over and over and over and over and over until you build a big enough staircase to get there. It's not going to come from thinking. It's not going to come from planning. It's going to come from doing. So take action, do it with us every day, and then simple. Be sure to drop in the comments here, what day is this for you? And then ideally, after you do your homework, come back to the live stream, drop a comment, either just done my homework or what your homework was. I would love to hear about that. Either way, that is Sunday, Active Recovery Day. Tomorrow we are back up with intensity. You guys need to give yourselves an extra pat on the back here because Active Recovery Day is boring and unsexy, and you guys all took it seriously, got here, and made sure that your body is healing so that you can hammer it for the rest of the week. So, I love you guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Quick shout out to team members Jody, Jason, Ryan, Yaroslav, Chris, Adam, Rose, and Shirley. And shout outs to everybody who is with us today. Carl, Equipment, Steve, Chris. Did I see Tim there? Not sure. Jabes, Terry, you guys have been awesome. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Stone Circle. Are you familiar with Stone Circle? That's a good sandbag channel. Either way, hope to see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a great day. Peace.